I actually had several people reach out to me and request some long-lasting, versatile fragrances. Now, what you deem long-lasting may be a little bit different from what I deem long-lasting. For me, anything that I can achieve 8 hours of longevity or better, I consider pretty long-lasting. And in this video, I've narrowed down 10 of what I consider the best recommendations for you guys if you're looking for 10 long-lasting, kind of do-it-all, versatile type fragrances. So stay tuned. Starting with one that kind of one of the most popular blue fragrances around, really and truly. It's everybody's go-to in the line. It's YSL, the Eau de Parfum. So what's special about Eau de Parfum versus the rest of the fragrances in the line? Well, for starters, it lasts and lasts and lasts. Now this one's one of the louder fragrances of my recommendations in this video because it's not necessarily going to be in your face to last a long time on your skin. This one lasts a long time and is very in your face, very blue as the color scheme would suggest, sage heavy, ambergris, apple, very mass appealing, compliment getting type of stuff. A little synthetic and cloying I find when it's right up in your face, but in the trail it actually is quite lovely, versatile, works for anything. Summertime I would be very mindful of the sprays because like I said, it can be a little cloyingly sweet in the high heat, but if you're in a climate controlled environment that'll be irrelevant, and then the rest of the year spray it away and have some fun because this one is definitely no slouch in performance. Never seems to want to kill over on my skin, even well into the 10-hour mark. And it'll definitely turn some heads from time to time if that's important to you. One that works all seasons in every situation. YSL EDP. Deemed to have the Aventus vibe while not really smelling like Aventus. The way I like to describe it is it smells like a basket full of mixed fruits. That being MANCERA, CEDRAT. Beloved. Probably outside of red tobacco, the most popular fragrance from the house. Man, and for good reason. Because in my opinion, it's the most versatile from the house. I do have several offerings from MANCERA, several offerings from Montale, and hands down, between the two brands, which is under one umbrella, and one perfumer, one owner, I have over 20 fragrances from them, and this is hands down the best do-it-all, grab-and-go, don't know what to wear, but I know I can wear CEDRAT. It's that kind of fragrance. Like I said, very fruity, very appealing. Another one, mass appealing. Works well for everything, even on into date nights. It has a sexiness to it. It has that masculine appeal without smelling old school or dated. Like I said, similar vibe to Creed Aventus, but not quite Aventus. It doesn't have the florals of Aventus. It doesn't have the smokiness of Aventus. It has the fruits, it has the bitterness, it has the woods. And it definitely has the performance for me. While not the beast it once was, they still perform very well. This is a relatively newer bottle. It's only like 2 years old, this particular bottle, and it still performs very, very well. It has gotten me many compliments, and it's an easy grab. You know, some people like to say dumb reach. I like to go with easy grab because it's just easy. They're easy to wear. They work for everything. And it can be just that one fragrance. If you want one that's going to check all the boxes and last on your skin, check out MANCERA, CEDRAT. As Swiss Army knife of a designer fragrance as they come, I don't know if there's really much better at being mature but not smelling old, polished without being too expensive, not too synthetic at the same time, yet work in every season, work well with a suit and tie, but work just as well if you're wearing a tank top sitting around the house. That is Giorgio Armani's AQUA PROFUMO. Still the best of the line. The highlight of the house, in my opinion. Because of the quality and versatility and somewhat uniqueness of this scent profile. Because yes, it is AQUA. It is an AQUA based DNA. But the way the incense and the patchouli have taken that base DNA and really rounded off all the edges, darkened it up, they ramped up the performance drastically. It's an Eau de Parfum concentration. It performs. It's loud off of my skin. It's very long lasting. And it's a compliment magnet. This stuff will pull compliments. If that kind of thing is important to you, this is good for it. And this is another one that can be that one fragrance. If you're that one fragrance kind of guy that puts it on the corner of his dresser and you just, no matter what you're wearing, no matter what day of the week, month of the year it is, you spray. This is what you spray on. This is what you wear. This is a great fragrance for that. That's why I call it a Swiss Army knife, because they don't come much more versatile, and it just so happens to last for a really long time on my skin. If you haven't checked this one out yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. Check it out if you haven't. Acqua di Gio Profumo. Fresh, green, lime, minty. There's a little petitgrain in here to add this dry herbal component, while still being pretty unisex, honestly, because my wife does enjoy this one a little bit as well. It's Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is Aqua Celestia Forte. Very extremely versatile green fragrance, dominated by a lot of fresh greens. Like I said, lime, mint, petitgrain, some vetiver. Very, very lovely, extremely high quality, as you would expect, deemed in the infamous Francis Kurkdjian line, Maison Francis Kurkdjian. The quality's there. You're going to pay for the quality, trust me, but it does smell quite expensive. The quality of the oils here are top notch. And this works for everything. This works in high heat. This is strong enough and dense enough to work fine in the cold. If you want something that's a little bit more on the fresh side, if you like an easygoing type of versatile fragrance that, in my opinion, has no chance of smelling dated, is kind of a timeless scent DNA, because it literally works well for everything. It smells very modern, but still has an homage to what a fresh green fragrance has always been about, in my opinion. And I haven't had it for a very long time, but it's one that I have enjoyed every single wearing, every single spray, and that's why I wanted to suggest this one to you guys, because it very well could have got knocked off by another designer release, but I wanted to make sure to bring some quality options as well, not just on the designer level side, because I know not everybody just wants your run-of-the-mill $70, $80 fragrance. Sometimes you want to step outside the box and get something special. Spend a little bit more money and get a little bit more for your money. And in this case, that's what's going to happen with Maison Francis Kurkdjian Aqua Celestia Forte. So this is another blue style fragrance, but more based around the note of tonka bean. It has a sweet powdery nature in its dry down, but still more so on that blue style fresh fragrance that people seem to just love and can't get enough of. I myself am very guilty of it. I love a good blue fragrance. And this is another one from Giorgio Armani in a different line. This is the Armani Code line, Armani Code Colonia. Yes, this one does not get talked about much like it used to. It used to get its fair share of hype. There's some citrus here, there's some woods, but most notably that tonka bean signature DNA that the Armani Code line is known for. Just freshened up. This works great. What I've always deemed this best for, honestly, if you want to pigeonhole it into something, is great for summer evenings, because it does have that signature DNA, that sex appeal of the Armani Code line, but a much fresher, more invitable, versatile type of scent profile. It's freshened up quite a bit while still maintaining a lot of performance. I get in the 9 to 10 hour range on my skin with this one. Obviously, not everybody's experience is going to be the same, but I'm giving you these suggestions off of my experience. In my experience, this performs very, very well. It never seems to want to kill over on my skin, and I love it for that. So if you're looking for performance and versatility while still maintaining some of what a great date night evening wear seductive fragrance is all about, this one accomplishes that. Great to wear to work and great to wear on a date at the same time. Check this one out if you haven't. It doesn't get the type of love it once did, but it's still great and still easy to get for a good price. Armani Code Colonia. Next, while a limited edition fragrance, there is still a very, and I mean very small amount left. If you like fresh spicy, if you like clean soapy aromatic, and you like boozy woody, this is several of the different accords and nuances you will get from Brass and Soul, the collaboration project from Justin from Stay Fresh Productions, and Zaharoff, part of the Z Creators collection that I am also a part of. It's really good stuff right here, guys. 8 to 9 hour range on my skin, And like I said, you do get that zesty, soapy, aromatic nature up top. Once it gets into that heart, I find the gin on my skin personally kind of takes over. It gets much more crisp, fresh, spicy, and boozy. Then the woods and this slight waxy quality comes in, this warm wood smell in the dry down that I just can't seem to get enough of when I do wear this. While I do have a large collection and I don't wear every fragrance all the time, this is one I seem to keep going back to, especially after a really good shave. I like to wear this one because it's just invigorating. It's very uplifting. It's got that crisp, fresh, spicy edge that I can't get enough of in a lot of fragrances. You'll notice a lot of the fragrances in this video have a crisp, fresh, spicy characteristic about them, and you absolutely get that from Brass and Soul. If you haven't tried it yet, you really should, because we are literally almost sold out, my fragrance included. Andrea's fragrance from Curly Scents, the Siren, that's already sold out, been sold out for about 2 weeks now. Justin, as well as myself, we're well on our way to being completely done with it. There are a few bottles left. If you're interested, there's always a link below. And like I said, if you like versatile and you like powerful, you check this out, especially if you're into fresh, spicy, like this guy. It's Brass and Soul, Stay Fresh Productions and Zaharoff. So for me, this fragrance has borderline perfect performance for my taste, for what I like. Long-lasting, consistent, not in your face. This is a warm, seductive, woody, yet versatile fragrance. And you'll be surprised what fragrance it is by that description. I'm talking about Bleu de Chanel Parfum. This stuff is so lovely. It's still zesty up top. It has that lemon zest note. And I'm normally not a real big fan of heavy ISOE super, but with the sandalwood and the other woods in here, the cashmeran, it really works. It's not too overpowering of an ISOE super, because when ISOE super takes over on my skin, like the newest version of Dior Homme, it's a little much for me in the dry down. Whereas here, it's blended masterfully. And I get every bit of 9-10 hours on my skin. This stuff never seems to go away. Parfum flankers tend to be my favorites in the lines because most of the time they're lower on the projection and longer lasting than the eau de parfum or the eau de toilettes of their particular line. And that was the case here. This one also has the richest and warmest smell for me, as well as the one that just appealed to my senses the most. I feel this is actually, while the most well-rounded and professional of the 3 Bleu de Chanel offerings, I also find it to be the most versatile at the same time, because it's not just another citrus-dominated fresh fragrance. This one actually has a lot more character because of the warmth that's added. The warmth and the richness really change the game, in my opinion. Granted, it's the most expensive, but I truly believe in you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to this line and this particular flanker. It can do it all. It dresses up very well, while not too serious to where you can't spray it on with a t-shirt in the high heat. I've done it many times, but even in the winter, this goes great with a suit and tie. Covers all the bases. Definitely long lasting on my skin and wonderful Bleu de Chanel Parfum. So we went from something much more rich and warm to, I deem this much more fresh, much more aromatic, juicy, lemonade type of smell, crisp green mint, super fresh, but super long lasting. I'm talking about the Gate fragrances. This is First Sight. A lot of lemon and mint up top that never seem to fade. They don't go easily. Oh, I believe it's a limoncello note, actually, that gives the lemon type of smell. It's kind of that gelatin lemon type of smell. Very thick, but not, how can I describe this? It has a density to it. Thick isn't necessarily the right word to work with. It's lovely, and this is every bit of a 10-hour fragrance, and it's mega, mega fresh. So if you're more along the lines, your taste and your palate seems to really enjoy the fresher fragrances more, but you just need one that's going to give you that longevity you're looking for. You don't want one that's only going to go 4, 5, 6 hours on your skin. This is the way to go. Much more expensive because it's luxury niche. This is another one of those fragrances where if you want to step outside the box and try something a little different and really not smell like everybody else that's going to be wearing your average $70 to $100 designer fragrance, and you want to step your quality and just your scent profile and uniqueness up, really separate yourself apart from everyone around you, something like this will do that, because I've never smelled another fragrance that smells like First Sight. First Sight is one of those rare, unique, fresh fragrances that performs. That's very important for a lot of people. I know a lot of you that watch this channel, that's important to you, and that's why it was important for this to make it in the video. Like I said, limoncello, mint, fresh greens, dense woods, and performance. The Gate fragrances. This is First Sight. Next, this is probably my favorite indie brand, and for me this is hands down the most versatile fragrance that I think pretty much anyone can enjoy from this particular house. I'm talking about Happy Land Studio, and I'm talking about Shameless. So what's special to me about Shameless, it shamelessly looks like it's going to smell like a Ventus when you look at the note breakdown, with subtle changes. Lavender, citruses, some extra, amped up vanilla. It's got a few different notes from a Ventus, but it overall looks like it's going to be a Ventus. And then you smell it, and it's got this bitter, tart, black currant, bergamot, citrus combo that kind of hits you in the face at first. You get a touch of ambergris, and then as it starts to dry, the vanilla comes in. This soapy, aromatic lavender, not too soapy though, takes over. You get a lot more ambergris, and even though it's an orange label, it's much more of a blue fragrance. Very mass appealing, easy to like, very, very easy to wear. And the beauty of this one, this is like a 10-hour fragrance on my skin too. This one's not a room filler, and it's not super in your face, but it's pronounced. You will smell somebody when they're wearing this, or they will smell you when you're wearing this. And then with the atomizers they use, massive sprays. You don't need many. 2 or 3 of those bad boys and you should be good, because it's the equivalent of about 6 sprays from your average atomizer. So for the most part, this is a dense, mild, I'm not going to say mildly fresh, let's say moderately fresh fragrance. It's got a strong fresh appeal in the opening, and it maintains a lot of that freshness, but because of the oil concentration there is a density. It does wear a little bit heavier, but the versatility is there. This is hands down one of the most versatile fragrances in my collection. It's definitely the most versatile fragrance from Happy Land Studios. It lasts long, and it's one that I just feel you need to try. You can get a sample from Happy Land. You don't have to commit to a bottle, but I do believe you need to try it. If you're looking for long lasting and versatile, something different, Happy Land Shameless. Last but not least, this has the projection kind of similar to Bleu de Chanel Parfum, where it's really not in your face at all. You got to get pretty close to really smell it after about the first hour. It's more of an intimate level projection, but it stays consistent. On my skin, this is every bit of 8 to 9 hours before it becomes a skin scent and fades away. I am talking about Creed Viking. One of the most masculine, versatile, signature scent-worthy fragrances in my collection. I love this stuff. This is a very good fragrance. I know Viking Cologne is out, and it's gotten its fair share of mixed reviews, some hype, some bad. In my opinion, stick to the original. The original's that good. It's an homage to minty, fresh aftershave, spicy aftershave type of fragrances of the past, kind of that Old Spice type of aroma, if you will, without smelling exactly like it. It has your Creed quality here. The oils are definitely high quality, and it's not so in your face. That's one of those things that really helps make it so signature scent worthy, is it's not too loud and obnoxious, because not everybody wants a super loud fragrance like a YSLY EDP, because that's a super loud fragrance. Some guys, they want it to last, but they don't want it to just scream, hey, look at me. This is one of those fragrances for that guy that doesn't want his fragrance to scream, hey, look at me, but he wants to smell nice and clean, presentable, of quality, and he wants it to last. This is that kind of fragrance, at least in my experience. Get a sample and try it, because it's not cheap. It's very expensive. It's a Creed fragrance, but I'm talking about Creed Viking. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today. Until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Do any of these pique your interest? Do you have any of these already? Let me know down in the comments. I love reading stuff like that. And of course, I do have several other fragrances that could have went in this video, but I really wanted to narrow it down to the 10 that really brought a level of diversity where it wasn't run-of-the-mill, same scent profile over and over. While there's some that share some similar styles, they don't share similar aromas, different levels of projection, different price levels, different quality levels. Really a versatile batch of fragrances for a versatile topic. Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the 10 I featured today, you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.